All right, here are the worst markets to invest into in 2025. You want to stay the away from them. And a lot of these are going to be very traditional of where they were, even just last year, but there's been some hot markets that people have absolutely flooded into, and you want to stay away from those in 2025. I'm going to share those with you in this video. I'm going to go over the biggest mistakes that I see people making. I'm going to talk to you about why I pulled out of certain markets, and then we're going to update the do not buy list. The biggest mistakes I see investors making when choosing a market is literally you are not underwriting them correctly. We all tell ourselves stories. We all talk ourselves into buying properties. That should strictly be a financially driven decision. Even though I'm kind of that color commentator guy, I'm the guy that does ARV. I mean, I can't remember the last time I purchased a house or a property and not put at least $100,000 into it. One, you can't buy turnkey. You need to have at least 20 to 25% of your purchase price budget allocated for renovations, design, amenities afterwards if you want to be able to compete when you buy that property. Number two is you're not underwriting the properties within your bedroom counts. So if you're buying a 3-bedroom, I want you to underwrite 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and 4 bedrooms. If it has a little bit of land, maybe it has an acre that you get to work with, or a half an acre, a nice big backyard, I really need you to look at the 4 and 5 bedrooms that are at the highest ADR, because that's really what we want to move to. The real value add is when you can buy that 3-bedroom and turn it into a 4. And you have room to do external amenities, pickleball courts, barrel saunas, mini golf. When we're constrained and we don't have a large enough footprint, we don't have that portrait to be able to paint, that's when we get in trouble. That's why I'm looking for unique properties, or I'm looking for after renovation value that I can add to that property. That's number one. The second biggest mistake that I see, people follow social media into markets, which leads me into the first worst market to invest into right now. And it was a hot one post-COVID for 2 years, and that's New Remain. There is not a chance that I would put my money into New Remain, the Sunday River market. That's the ski resort that's there, because it's been flooded with 4, 5, and 6 bedroom properties and even new construction. And there's not enough traffic going to Sunday River, even though it is a Vail resort, it's on Icon, it's on all that type of stuff. There's just not enough people coming from out that are not locals to that mountain. The summertime is not attractive enough. There's not enough people going there to fish and hike and do that stuff. And there sure as heck is not enough infrastructure in Bethel and Newry to support. So that is a market that I am 100% staying away from today. So the real number 3 is what markets I have pulled out of and why. I have pulled out of Fort Morgan, Alabama in the last year. That's a market, once again, it's different. It's a secondary market, a tertiary market to Gulf Shores, but I've seen the rents start to slow down in that market post-COVID more than in Gulf Shores. So I have pulled my money out of Fort Morgan. I have gone into Panama City Beach, not because I love Panama City Beach, but because I love the deal. That's something that I really need you guys to focus on, is that you need to focus on the deal. You can invest in any of these markets, but here's the update. Here's the ones that I want you to stay away from. Look, are you a short-term rental owner just like me? You could be a co-host, maybe even a property manager, and you struggle with the back end, the bookkeeping, the credit card reconciliation. Well, if you're not familiar with Baselane, you need to take a look at them, because that's completely changed my life and my relationship with QuickBooks. I don't know if I should say that or not, but literally, it's the bane of my existence. Baselane has AI that's implemented, and it's made mine and my wife's, Bria's, life so much easier to take care of all of our properties, from a co-hosting side to the side that we own. It's an absolute game changer, and literally it's saving us thousands of dollars a month based on our time to have to reconcile our books. The AI feature is just absolutely sick inside of Baselane. Plus they have banking that goes along with it, and they give us 3.35% interest. They have debit cards. So now we can follow the asset protection and silo everything, right? Banking, bookkeeping, all in one spot. Dedicated debit card, 3.35%. What are you waiting for? I switched to Baselane, and I recommend you do too. And before I give those to you, I'm going to give you the caveat of what I just said. I believe I can invest into any market and make money. I believe I can invest into any market and find a super property. But it takes patience, it takes due diligence, and most importantly, it takes commitment to stick to my financial guns in that pro forma. I can't deviate from it. If I do that and I find something that looks cool, but it's not cool enough, and I don't have enough uniqueness to create that insulation from everybody else, then I'm probably not going to be able to survive very long, because people will catch up. And that can happen in Orlando, Florida. That is the market that is at top of my list. No, it's not Blue Ridge, Georgia. That's number 2. Stay away from Orlando, stay away from Blue Ridge, stay away from Fort Morgan, Alabama, stay away from Newry, Maine. And then I'm going to give you a 5A or a 6. Wares Valley in the Smokies. I'm not going to say the entire Smokies, even though there's like 1,400 short-term rentals on the market right now. I'm not going to tell you to stay away from that entire market. You can find sweet deals there. Avery Carl, I've seen post some sweet deals. Madeline Blom has some sweet deals there because they know how to invest and they're not just pitching the shit products just to make money, right? But you got to pick the right location, you got to pick the right property, and you got to be able to create an experience. So you need some room to be able to work with. Orlando, Newry, Fort Morgan, Alabama, Blue Ridge, Georgia, and Wares Valley. That is a place that has been so overbuilt, so tough to compete. Those are the markets you want to stay away from in 2025. If you want more of these updates, make sure you smash that subscribe button. I'll see you on the next video.